Hello students, how are studies going? Hope you are doing good. We are back with another video, and in this video we are going to discuss about Newton's laws of motion. So without any further delay, let us start our video. Represented by J. So impulse is nothing but the change in momentum. Okay, so the change in momentum is known as impulse. It is also defined as force into time taken. Okay, so this is about impulse. I will give you some examples in daily life. So when a cricketer is catching a ball, so he catches the ball and he takes his hands in the backward direction. He does that because he is reducing the time. He is increasing the time to catch the ball. So when he does take his hands in the backward direction, he is increasing the time to catch the ball, which reduces the force upon the ball, which reduces also the impulse on the ball. So that is one daily life example which shows about impulse. So next we are going to discuss about Newton's third law. So Newton's third law states that every action has an equal and opposite reaction which takes place on two different bodies simultaneously. So Newton's third law states that every action has an equal and opposite reaction which takes place on two different bodies simultaneously. So for example, let us suppose this is a body of mass m which is moving with a velocity v, and this is another mass m. So when it hits this body, then this body will be exerting a force F on this body, and this body will also be exerting the same force F on this body. Okay, that is why it is stated that it acts on two different bodies simultaneously. This force is the force which is exerted by the mass capital M acts on the mass small m, and the force which is exerted by the body small m acts on the body capital M. This also takes place simultaneously. So this is about Newton's third law. I will give you some examples for it. So for example, rocket propulsion is the best example. Rocket propulsion. So rockets to take off use the mechanism of Newton's third law. So when a rocket takes off, it releases energy and force in the form of heat, and it exerts some force F on the ground. So the ground also exerts the same force F on the rocket. So by this principle, by the force which the ground exerts on the rocket takes off. Okay, so this is the best example. So that is about Newton's third law. Now let us discuss about free body diagram, also known as FBD, free body diagram. So free body diagram is nothing but a diagram which represents all the forces acting on a particular body. For example, let us suppose this is ground and this is a body of mass capital M. Okay, so the forces which are acting on it are mg, and the force which is exerted by ground, so this is also mg in this particular case. And for example, you are pushing the ball with a force F, then F, and if the ground is frictional, then friction will also act in the opposite direction. So basically, free body diagram is the diagramical representation of a body which shows all the forces acting on it. Okay, so this is about free body diagram. It changes in different cases. For example, when you take an inclined plane, so suppose this is an inclined plane and suppose this angle is alpha, then when you place the body like this, here mg sin alpha would be acting downwards, not mg. Mg will be acting in this direction. Sorry, this is mg cos alpha. I'm really sorry. Mg cos alpha would be acting in this direction. Mg sin alpha will be acting in this direction. Mg cos alpha will be acting in this direction. The same force which the inclined plane exerts on the body. Let us suppose this is a body of mass small m, and here frictional force will be acting in the opposite direction in case it is a rough surface. So this is about free body diagram. It varies in different cases. So now let us learn about contact forces. When suppose there are two bodies, so contact means in touch. So this is M, this is M. So these bodies are in touch with each other, which means they are in contact with each other. So the forces which are exerted by this body onto this body and by this body onto this body are known as contact forces. So one main example for this is normal reaction. In friction and Newton's laws of motion, normal reaction is very important. So what is normal reaction? So I just told you that the same force mg will be acting in opposite direction. So this the force which is acting in opposite direction is known as normal reaction. So basically the force which is perpendicular to the ground. In an inclined plane case, this is the ground, this is the surface, and this is the body. Normal reaction acts in this direction, so it is perpendicular. So that is known as normal reaction. For example, if you take a body and press it against the wall, let us suppose this is wall, and when you press it against the wall, this is surface, so the normal reaction will be acting in this direction. So normal reaction varies from case to case. We will discuss later on that. So basically this is normal reaction. Okay, so now let us learn how to balance tension forces in different cases. So the first case is, this is a body of mass m1 which is connected with a string. We are supposing that it is a massless string. So this is also connected with a mass m3 and it is being pulled by force F. Then so you must all be knowing about tension. So tension force, let us balance the tension force. Let us suppose this is T1, then the tension will be T1 from opposite side also. Here let us suppose the tension is T2. So F is equal to Ma, you all must know that. F is equal to here M1 plus M2 plus M3 into A. Okay. So T1, which is the force which is acting on this string, this is equal to M1 into A. Okay. M1 into A, that means M1 into acceleration. From here we can write it as F by M1 plus M2 plus M3. So M1 F by M1 plus M2 plus M3 is T1. In the same way, T2 is equal to M1 plus M2 into F by M1 plus M2 plus M3. Okay, so that is the tension force in this case, and acceleration is F by M1 plus M2 plus M3. Okay. So now let us discuss about a pulley. So this is a fixed pulley and two masses are hanging from it, M1 and M2. So let us suppose that M1 is greater than M2 in this condition, then M1 is going to fall down and M2 is going to rise. So this system moves with the same acceleration. Then here the tension is T, and here also the tension is T. Okay, so here gravitational force is acting in the downward direction. T minus m1 into G is equal to m1 into A. Okay, so this is the tension here. T is okay. Let us suppose this is the first equation, and from here we can write this as T minus m2G is equal to m2 into A. So let us add both the equations. Tension and tension get cancelled. G into m1 minus m2 is equal to m1 plus m2 into A. So A is equal to m1 minus m2 upon m1 plus m2 into G. So this is acceleration. When you substitute the acceleration here, you will find the tension force also. Okay, so that was our second condition. So our third case, okay, so this is our second condition. Let us suppose m1 is going down with an acceleration A, then this body will be moving in this direction with an acceleration A. As I told you, the acceleration of m1 and m2 will be equal. So when we consider this case, this force is dominating. So we can write it as m1g minus T is equal to m1 into A. When you look at the second body, T is equal to m2 into A. Okay, so this force is balancing this force. Then when we add this, m1g is equal to m1 plus m2 into A is equal to m1 by m1 plus m2 into G. So this is the acceleration. When you substitute the acceleration here, you will get the tension force also. So our fourth case, let us consider an inclined plane of inclination, let's say theta. Okay, so let us consider an inclined plane for our second condition. Let us suppose this tension is T, same. Here G is acting downwards, but here m1G is acting downwards. Now here when we observe, this will be m2 sine theta. Okay, I hope you know how to divide the angle into components. Okay, so m2 sine theta, this will be m2 cos theta, and this will be m2 into G, and here will be the normal reaction, which is equal to m2 cos theta. So this is the free body diagram. Now when we look at the mass m1, so let us suppose this is going down now with an acceleration A, and this is coming up. Then T minus m1G is equals to m1A. And when we look here, m2 sine theta is acting downwards, so this is the force which is dominating. M2 sine theta into G minus T is equal to m2 into A. When we add these, T and T get cancelled. m2 sine theta G minus m1G is equal to m1 plus m2 into. So here when we take G common, it will be m2 sine theta minus m1 is equal to m1 plus m2 into A. From here you can write A as G into m2 sine theta minus m1 upon m1 plus m2 you are sending here, so m1 plus m2. Okay, I hope you have understood this case also. So when you substitute the acceleration in one of these equations, you will get the tension also. So now this is our last and final case. So this is T and this is T. So in the last diagram, we looked at where only one body was hanging from the inclined plane. Here two bodies are hanging from the inclined plane. So this will be m2 sine beta G. This will be m1 sine beta G. So let us suppose this is moving with an acceleration A and this is moving up with an acceleration A. I am not drawing the whole FBD. I drew in the last case. It will be the same here also. Okay. When we look at this part, we understand that. Okay, so this is alpha. I'm sorry. T minus m1G sine alpha is equal to m1A. And when we look here, m2 sine beta g minus t is equal to m2 into a. So tension and tension get cancelled when we add this one, and we can take g common. So then it will become m1 sine alpha plus m2 sine beta is equal to a into m1 plus m2. So from there we can write this as acceleration is equal to m1 sine alpha plus m2 sine beta into g upon m1 plus m2. So from here you can substitute this equation in one of these equations and you will get the value of tension. So that is it for today's lecture.